What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. We are officially here. The start of the 2023 NFL season will be underway tonight as the Kansas City Chiefs will take on the Detroit Lions at home. It's a chance for the Lions to really prove to us that they're here. Can Jared Goff continue his successes from last year? Big questions will be asked tonight. How will the Chiefs do without Chris Jones? Will Travis Kelce play? A lot of questions, and we're going to get into the injury report first. Then we will get into some storylines, and we'll talk about some matchups, what needs to go right for each team to win. And yeah, this is a preview for the Lions and the Chiefs game. So I don't want to waste much more time. I want to get into it because I'm just so excited for football to be here, man. So the injury report for both sides, this is it. It's a pretty small report, but there are two players that mean a lot to both teams. Two playmakers that the teams are going to miss. Bearded Dragon is going absolutely insane. Every time I record, he goes crazy. So, Detroit Lions, you have Emmanuel Mosley, who is out. He is a cornerback. He's out with a knee injury. One of the cornerbacks that they signed this offseason. So, we'll see. They also signed Cam Sutton, so they do have another guy on the other side. That's good, but we'll see. We'll see, considering the Chiefs don't have, do they have that one guy that can step up? We're unsure, but they do have a room of guys that, you have to watch every single one of them because all of them are big-time played threats, home run threats. So you have to be careful because they may not have that one guy that could take over the game, but they're going to have many players, many guys who can step in, and you have to watch every single one because they can all make big-time plays. Then we have Travis Kelce, who is questionable for the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's a hyperextended knee. That's what they know. That's what they first reported as. Then we had an update later on that was, they don't really know 100% what it is. They think that he did avoid a long-term injury. Now, considering he's questionable, they must think it's not that bad. But I know they were waiting for the swelling to go down to see exactly what it is. And if the swelling's not down and they don't know what it is, I assume they won't play him. I assume he won't play. He should not play. Travis Kelce, he's going to want to play. This is probably where you need your team doctors and trainers to step in and say, hey, you cannot play. Take the week off. And I know Travis Kelce is going to hate that. And, he wants to play bad, and he will go out there and force it. But if he goes out there and force it, you can make the injury 10 times worse than it may be right now. So, those are the injuries. Two starters, two pretty important players for both teams. But, now let's go to the storylines. So, this is the measuring stick for Jared Goff, really the entire year. Because Jared Goff played like a top 10, top 12 quarterback last year. He played phenomenal. He was incredible. And he had a great offensive coordinator to work with in Ben Johnson. Now, you would ask yourself, Sean McVay is really, he's great on offense, great at scheming things up, getting things open. And, Jared Goff, you'd think that Jared Goff wouldn't be able to go anywhere else and really find who he is. But Ben Johnson has put those questions to rest, at least for last season. Now, last year when teams faced Jared Goff and the Lions, they called a lot of zone. No, they called a lot of man, excuse me. And it's very questionable. Now, the receivers, they're very suspect. Didn't know who they really had. This year they have a few more weapons. But last year they would call a lot of man. And I think that's why, because you had Goff there, and then you didn't really know if you had that receiver, if you had that guy that you really have to be worrying about. Now, when you call man, it's man-to-man, exactly what it sounds like. When you call zone, there's little spots in there that, there's weak spots in the zones. The receivers need to sit down. So it's, it can require a little more experience than just some athletic ability. Now, it does require experience, does require all that, but I really question why a lot of teams called so much man against Jared Goff. This year, I think teams are going to look at that and they're going to call a lot more zone, and it may give Jared Goff a lot more fits. We'll see. But, I want to see if Jared Goff can do what he did last year before I really put the Lions in the conversation of being possibly one of the better teams in the NFC. I know that might sound wild, but if Goff is anything of what he was last year, or if he's going to return to the good not good. If he's going to return to the old Jared Goff, then this team probably won't be that great. Now, they can still be very good. They have a good offensive line, can run the damn ball, but we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. And I think this is a big indicator of how this season could go for Jared Goff, honestly. I know it's only week 1, but, other teams have that whole offseason of tape. Are the Chiefs going to call zone? Not sure what what their game plan is going to be versus the Lions, but I think if you call more zone against Goff, you have a good chance of making it, of having him make some mistakes and not play very well. So we'll see, but this is a measuring stick for Jared Goff this game and really the entire season to see where his career is going to go from there, because we all know with the Rams, he was with a fantastic offensive mind in Sean McVay, and he had one pretty good year. Rest of the years were kind of and for being such high of a pick, you really want him to be much better than that. And considering you don't even think he could be on the team, you did get a chance to trade for Matthew Stafford. That's how Goff is here in the first place. And Goff really did a good job last year, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how Jared Goff does this year, and if Jared Goff can look anything like he did last year, I think the Lions actually have a chance to win this game. And don't forget, we'll talk about the thing I was just going to talk about in a minute. So defense for the Lions. No, let's do one at a time. Should we go one at a time or should we go back and forth? I should have had this figured out before the video. So should we go? All right, let's stick with the Lions. Let's go one at a time. Defense. I know the Lions have a pretty good defensive line. They keep adding talent to that D-line, and the Chiefs have a pretty good offensive line. But can this defense try, can they at least slow down Patrick Mahomes? We know you can't really stop Patrick Mahomes. That's not really in the realm of possibilities. He's just an incredible player who finds a way. No matter what receivers, players he has to work with, he will find a way. But considering, he does have all of these receivers that, can make plays. Is there that one guy in that offense that you're going to look at and be like, yeah, we definitely need to cover him besides Travis Kelce? Probably not. Now, we'll see how Kadarius Toney pans out this year. He is a breakout candidate. I think he can be very good with Mahomes. He's very shifty, great round runner, very fast, good with the run after the catch. We'll see. I think Kadarius Toney has, the sky is the limit for him with Patrick Mahomes. Now, the defense, the cornerbacks, you do have Emmanuel Mosley out. You have Cam Sutton still. We'll see how this defense can fare versus the Chiefs, one of the worst defenses last year. And, it's probably going to take some time just for a young defense and, a newer coordinator and them to really get, maybe this defensive scheme and, the team and, getting better with the system as it is. So we'll see how this defense plays week 1. I'm not expecting much from it. They're playing one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and whether Travis Kelce plays or not, it is a big blow to the Chiefs, but they still have all these players all over this roster that can make big-time plays. So I'm not too excited for this Lions defense, but, I guess we'll see. So behind Travis Kelce, you do have Noah Gray, Blake Bell. Those are the guys that would play. They're no Travis Kelce, of course, but, I guess we will see how this Lions defense plays week 1. It could be it won't really be the measuring stick for the season because defenses don't always play good to start the season. A lot of them don't. Defenses are still getting in shape, still getting film on the offenses from this year. We'll see. Then we got the last storyline for the Lions. The NFL could have picked any other team to play the Chiefs in the opener. Think about that. They could have picked the 49ers. Everyone would have loved to see Brock Purdy on Thursday night on the season opener versus Mahomes. Would have loved to see the Niners in general in week 1 versus Mahomes, which could have been the Super Bowl matchup. So the possible Super Bowl matchup from last year. Brock Purdy didn't go out. I think the Niners would have made it, but they could have used any other team, but they used the Lions. They could have used the Niners. They could have possibly had the Bengals or even the Ravens, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. I don't think they would have used the Ravens or put the Ravens in this spot over maybe the Niners, maybe the the Bengals, the Eagles, maybe the Super Bowl rematch. There's a lot or maybe even the Giants. You know, the Giants have a lot of promise coming into this year. They have a bit of hype surrounding them, and I think the Giants would have been a pretty cool. I thought the Giants and the Chiefs would have been a pretty good season opener. Seeing Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley versus Patrick Mahomes and whoever, Isaiah Pacheco, whoever has a hot hand for the Chiefs. I thought the Giants would have been a pretty good matchup as well. I think the Giants are an up-and-coming team. But they picked the Lions. Out of all other teams they could have picked, they picked the Lions. So the NFL must have some high expectations for the Lions. They must see something in them. So this is the Lions' chance to go out there and, make this a good game at least. If you don't win it, make it a good game. Now, if you get blown out and it's 42 to 14, 42 to even 20, that's it. You blew your chance. You blew your chance to be on national television, impress people, and the NFL is going to say, okay, wait another 20, 25 years to get another experience like this. So hopefully they can take advantage of this in the spotlight, in the season opener. I sure hope they can. I like the Lions. I think they have a lot of good playmakers, but will they be able to beat the Chiefs? I'm not sure. So then for the Chiefs, you have, besides Patrick Mahomes, your biggest, a weapon for Patrick Mahomes. Besides Patrick Mahomes, you are losing your biggest offensive weapon. You're losing your biggest and your best defensive player. Best on both sides, other than Mahomes for offense. It's definitely a hit. It's definitely a hit to the defense not having Chris Jones, because that interior pressure is one of the most difficult pressures to deal with as a quarterback. It's one of the best pressures you can get. Pressure from anywhere is great, but when you get pressure up the middle, the quarterback can't really step up. Jared Goff wouldn't be able to step up as well. But we'll see how these guys up the middle for the Chiefs play. Let's see who they have up the middle. They do have Derek Nottie. He can be all right. Neil Farrell, Trayshawn Wharton. I thought they did trade for a player from the Raiders. Maybe that was, I have no clue who that was. But, you look at the cornerback room. You have Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson. You have L'Jarius Sneed. And safeties, you have Justin Reed, Mike Edwards, Brian Cook. So you have guys in the secondary that can maybe hold their own against the Lions' offense. They do have some really nice weapons. They do have Amon-Ra St. Brown. And it's not going to be a cakewalk for this Chiefs defense against this Lions offense. And especially, it's also going to matter. It's also going to depend on what kind of Jared Goff we get. So you have no Travis Kelce. It hurts, but you do have Noah Gray, and you do have the other guy I mentioned earlier, Noah Gray and Blake Bell. I think those guys can be a decent tight end 1-2. Definitely no Travis Kelce, but I think Mahomes will still put on the money. If they're open, Mahomes will put on the money, and they'll make a big play. And like I mentioned earlier, the Chiefs have all these different weapons. It's not like they have this one guy that you can just focus on. Well, when Kelce's not in there, I don't think Kelce's going to be in there. I know I put no Kelce, but he is questionable. There's a chance he does play. But even if he does play, is he going to play a lot? Probably not. Is he going to be 100%? Probably not. I don't think Travis Kelce will play. If he does, I will be shocked. We'll be shocked if he plays. But, it's one less weapon, and it definitely does hurt. And you have that one tight end that can just bring, and, Travis Kelce helps bring this offense to the next level, as well Patrick Mahomes. But in terms of weapons and who Mahomes is throwing to, we'll see. Can Kadarius Toney, MVS, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, Richie James, Justin Ross has been a preseason standout and a preseason training camp standout. Who's gonna step up to the plate? Because if all of them have a okay night and can get open here and there and make big plays, that's awesome. They'll be fine. But I'm not sure. MVS was a little underwhelming last year. We were expecting a big time year from MVS, and just couldn't do it. Kadarius Toney, I have high hopes for in this offense. I love Sky Moore. Sky Moore is a very good receiver. We'll see. He's expected to get more time this year, so we'll see. And then the run defense for the Chiefs, especially having Chris Jones out. And, I probably should have put pressure here. You do have George Karlaftis on the defensive line. And, you have Mike Dana on the other side. Fleeks, Anudik, Uzama, the guy you drafted this year. You have some guys on the defensive line that can get pressure. But not having those guys in the interior, especially not having Chris Jones, really hurts. George Karlaftis was really good last year. Can he continue to develop him? bring some pressure off the edge. It'd be nice. It'd be nice if he can really take that next step, especially since Chris Jones is out currently. But Chris Jones is, as we know, is one of the best defensive tackles in the league. I would absolutely go to lengths to say is that he's one of the best defensive players in the league. I think he's very under-talked about, very underrated, and I know everyone knows he's a pretty damn good player, but there's also a lot of people, people who don't really follow football as much, who just don't know. Even if they're a Chiefs fan, they may not even know Chris Jones, which is kind of wild, but I've seen a lot of people say who is Chris Jones, and Chris Jones is one of the best defensive players in the league. Whether you know him or not, he makes a big difference if he's in there or if he's not. So the Chiefs are losing a big-time playmaker. Are they going to be able to stop that run with, the Lions drafting Jahmyr Gibbs? He's expected to have a big role. You have, they signed David Montgomery. You have a very good offensive line you're facing in the Lions. And also just a very good, creative offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson. And if you're going to struggle against the pass, against Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, if he looks anything like he was last year, if you're going to struggle against the pass, then it is going to be a long game on defense. The run defense, we'll see what they can do. I really liked what we saw from Nick Bolton last year. It's not just the defense. It's not just, what we see from the defensive linemen and the edge rushers that help against the run. It's a big part in it, but the linebackers are also very important. You have Nick Bolton, who was incredible last year. You have Willie Gay You have Willie Gay. You have Jack Cotrain. I don't even know how to say his name. You have Drew Tranquil. You have a lot of good linebackers that can possibly help you in the run defense department. But if you can't get that push up front, you're going to lose in short yard situations. You're going to lose in goal line situations. So we'll see how this run defense does. And I think it's going to be very difficult for the Chiefs to control this game. I know they have Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce isn't going to be out there all day. We'll talk about that more in a couple minutes after we talk about the last storyline for the Chiefs. So the last storyline for the Chiefs is who will step up for Mahomes. We talked about this a little bit earlier. You have the rookie and Rashee Rice. You have MVS, who was a little underwhelming last year. I believe he was dealing with injuries, though. You do have Kadarius Toney. Hopefully, I think he could step up. He's going to be great on screens. Just running deep, route running. He's very shifty. Just try and get the ball to Kadarius Toney, and he will make a big play. You have Sky Moore, awesome deep threat, can be a great receiver for Patrick Mahomes. Richie James, good receiver, very fast. I think he's... No, I'm thinking of a different guy that played for the Buccaneers that was very fast. I don't think it was Richie James. But then you have Rashee Rice, talked about him a little bit. Justin Ross, the preseason and the training camp standout. Can he step up for Mahomes? We'll see. If hopefully there's someone that can step up. If someone doesn't step up and all these receivers are kind of just shook and they're not really playing well and they can't get open, they can't make catches consistently. If none of them can go up and make a big time catch, if they struggle to do that, then Patrick Mahomes there's only so much Patrick Mahomes can do throwing the football. If these receivers can't get open, well, if they cannot catch the ball, and especially with Travis Kelce out, maybe one of these tight ends would be able to step up. We'll see, but someone's going to need to be able to step up for Patrick Mahomes because I don't think Kelce's going to play, and if he does, he's not going to be 100%. He's not going to play a lot. I honestly think it's foolish to let Travis Kelce play this week. You're a team that is very good every year, and Travis Kelce is one of the best tight ends in the league. You're gonna let him run out there and play and risk maybe him taking a bad shot to the knee or taking a bad cut and moving the wrong way, and there goes Travis Kelce for the season. He's your one guy that is going to be there on big time third downs, that is going to be there and will find a way to get it done in the red zone. Who's going to step up in the red zone? We'll see. But who's gonna step up for Patrick Mahomes? Someone is going to need to. Now, like I said, the Lions cornerbacks aren't great, and especially since you're losing Emmanuel Mosley this week to a knee, it's gonna make it easier for some of these guys to get open, possibly. But they still have to get open. They still have to figure it out because none of these guys are, I think we know what we're going to get from Marquez, but you really don't, so it doesn't make sense for me to say that. We'll see. We'll see what this team has and who is going to step up for Mahomes. So those are the storylines, and now I want to talk about some, matchups, some key points. So I have a concern for the Chiefs' inability to control this game in the trenches, especially, with the run on both sides. Now, they do have a very good offensive line. The interior is phenomenal. They just gave a big contract to Juwan Taylor. You signed a veteran in Donovan Smith. So you have a phenomenal interior, a great interior, one of the best interiors in the league, in my opinion. And, Juwan Taylor, decent tackle. Good thing they signed him. He's a very good tackle. Donovan Smith, he's a veteran. We'll see how these guys do against Aiden Hutchinson in this defensive line as a whole. So, can the Chiefs control this game at all? On defense especially. On short yardage situations, the Lions are probably just going to be able to pound the football with David Montgomery or, quick throw to Gibbs or even hand it off to Gibbs. They drafted him high. They better use him a lot. It doesn't make sense if they wouldn't. If you're going to draft a running back at number 12, that running back better be your feature back. He better be the number one guy. He better make those big-time plays. It's rare for a running back to be drafted in the first round as it is, and tour. So I guess that speaks volume to how good these backs are. But, Mahomes can control the game. But there's only so much you can do, offensively if you're going to struggle to run the ball, which I think they're going to run the ball fine. Isaiah Pacheco is phenomenal. I love Isaiah Pacheco. They have Jerick McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clyde Edwards-Helaire it's going to be a big year for him. Not sure if he's going to get a lot of time, but he has not proven. He's a former first-round pick, a running back, and just has not been able to get it done. Has not been able to be a very good running back, and with so many running backs out there, it's a bad look. And you have a very good offensive line, and you have an incredible offense with the Chiefs. You can't run the ball well then are you ever going to be able to? Probably not. But, yeah, I think the Chiefs will be able to get the run game going. But the Lions are going to be able to run the ball really well. Especially with no Chris Jones. We'll see how George Karlaftis does, how he plays, how that Fleeks plays. So, the rookie they drafted. Neil Farrell, Mike Dana. We'll see what this defensive line can do. Hopefully someone can step up. They have good linebackers, so hopefully that can limit how much they can run it. But, we know that they're going to want to run the ball. I'm completely blanking on the line. Dan Campbell. He's going to want to run the football. Ben Johnson. He does like to throw the football. He's very creative, and he will scheme the running back really well. The running back game really well. The running game really well. He will. So, let's see if hopefully George Karlaftis and someone else can step up in this defensive line and really, really help this Chiefs defense try and control the game defensively. Because if you get in a situation where, say the game is close and the Lions are they're driving down the field, and say you don't have all your timeouts, say you have two, and Lions are close to scoring a field goal, and a field goal wins the game. You're gonna have to stop the run. You're gonna have to stop it, because if you don't, they're just gonna run that clock down and kick that field goal. You're crazy if you think they're gonna give Patrick Mahomes a chance to even go down that field. We saw what he could do in 13, 14 seconds against the Bills. Mahomes can get it done in 20 seconds. Can go and get a field goal in 20 seconds. It's very easy. Now, if Kelce doesn't play, we'll see. It may be that much more difficult, because it really opens things up, throughout the entire field when Kelce's playing as well. But we will see. Number 2. Excuse me, once again, I'm sorry. No Kelce and no Chris Jones. Can Karlaftis step up? Who will step up for the Chiefs and Mahomes? We already talked about that. Number 3. So my biggest question for the Lions is, What Jared Goff are we going to get? Are we going to get 2022 Jared Goff? Or are we going to get 2020, 2019 Jared Goff? A very poor version of Jared Goff, or a very good, or a very good version. That's yet for us to see. But if we get a Jared Goff that is playing like he did last year, and Ben Johnson helps Jared Goff to keep on that success, to keep on that momentum, I can see the Lions winning this game. I can see it. It's going to be a very good game. The Lions will be able to run the football. They will be able to throw the football. It's a matter of, can the defense get a few stops? That's the big question for me. And I don't know if the defense is going to be able to get stops. Whether Travis Kelce plays or not, as I said, the Chiefs have a ton of weapons. You know, not all of them are proven. We don't know who's going to have the game. We don't know who's going to have a good game, if any of them will. Hopefully one can catch a flame, can catch a fire, and have the hot hand for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But you don't know if they will. And considering the Lions have a cornerback out, when they're starting corners, that hurts big time. Although they have a good defensive line, they could get some pressure, but the Chiefs also have an incredible offensive line. The Chiefs are going to be able to run the football as well, and I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs in this game. I'm going to take the Chiefs 34-27. Like I said, you know, the Lions absolutely have a chance. And they're Chiefs 34-27. I don't know if I said 37. I might have said 37 by accident, but Chiefs 34, Lions 27. That is my score prediction for this game. So, Lions, this is your chance, man. This is your chance to come out and prove to the football world and the NFL world that you're here and you want more prime time and you deserve to get the spotlight. The NFL could have picked any other football team. Don't blow it. This is your chance. The Lions fans know, or the Lions are keeping their expectations low, but let me know what you guys think. What is your predictions for this game? Give me in the comment section down below. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. If you enjoyed this video, we'll be doing this for every Thursday night and Monday night football game. The single games for those, and then I will do the entire weekend predictions. Today, I'll get them out today. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. This is a JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.